Hi my loves, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Welcome if you guys are new. Today we are filming my favorite video of the month, and that is choosing our TBR for the following month. Today I'm letting a TBR jar choose my reads. It honestly feels like a while since I've done this because last month I let booktubers choose it, which was so much fun, but I do love a TBR jar. I do love letting prompts pick my reads. So I thought we'd go back to that for the month of July. Maybe we'll mix it up in August, I'm not sure. This month, in terms of overall mood, I definitely am leaning towards some different genres. I am hoping to get a wider array of genres. Last month I read a lot of fantasy, so I'm kind of craving, I don't know, maybe some general fiction, maybe some thrillers, maybe some sci-fi, I'm not sure. I also feel like my TBR is very diverse at the moment, so we have a lot to work with. I'm also going on a 4-week trip this month. So it means I don't have access to my physical TBR. So I'm kind of thinking, that doesn't mean I can't read them, like I can still just get a different copy on my Kindle, but I also just want to keep that in mind. So maybe if I don't read them over there, when I get back, I'll read them, and I kind of want them to be easier reads that I'm just going to want to pick up and binge. Maybe I can read them while I'm over there. Just, yeah, I'm kind of going for like an easier, fun kind of month. I feel like my vibe is like books I can sit down and read in like 48 hours. That's kind of what I'm looking for, if that makes sense. So yeah, hopefully our TBR jar can help us find some reads to fit those, but I think we should jump straight into it. I do have obviously my Patreon book club for the month, which is Dark Matter this month, which will be so much fun. That is by Blake Crouch. It is a sci-fi book, and I've been meaning to pick this one up for the longest time. I have heard only good things about it, so very excited to jump into that one. So that'll be my first book on my TBR. I think we'll probably just do 5 books this month. I don't think 6 is a good idea for how busy I am this month, so we'll do 5 prompts. I've also filled up the prompt jar a little bit, so hopefully we have a larger range of prompts to get. Okay, let's go with this one. This prompt is a thriller you've been avoiding. Perfect. Literally just said I'm kind of feeling in some thrillers. I'm gonna have a look on my physical TBR, and then I'll also have a look on to be bought list. I ended up canceling my Kindle Unlimited subscription, guys. I just wasn't using it enough in a month. So if there's more, I'll get it again one day, but for now I don't have it. But that's fine. I can still like buy a book and it's still cheaper than a Kindle Unlimited subscription. Okay, I think I've got 2 good options physically. These are both very little options, but they've been on my physical TBR for too long to count, which is just embarrassing. I've had this one on my TBR before. I know it's 2 Sides to Every Murder. We're set at like a summer camp or something, and we're following our protagonist Olivia, who was born during the infamous Camp Lost Lake murders. When she starts digging into the events of that night, the official story starts to fall apart. And then we're also following Reagan, whose mother might be considered guilty of the murders. But Reagan knows she's innocent. Tired of running, she returns to Lost Lake to clear her mother's name. Someone is dead set on keeping the past hidden and will kill again to do so. For some reason, this is giving me the same kind of vibes as Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I think it is a YA mystery, so I think it would be really fun. But yeah, for some reason, it's giving me the same vibe as like Good Girl's Guide to Murder, or maybe like Truly Devious. I think just because we have that like camp setting, and in those books we have a kind of school setting and then an academy setting, kind of giving that. Is it YA? I'm not sure. I wish books were more obvious about what genre they were. So we do have that option I've been avoiding for a long time. This one I also got sent years ago, not years, maybe like 2 years ago, and it is Everything We Never Said by Sloane Harlow. This one has just been putting me off because of the blurb. It just sounds a little bit icky to me. It's been months since her best friend Haley died, and everywhere Ella looks, she sees reminders of her, including Sawyer, Haley's boyfriend. Little by little, the two grow closer until Ella realizes something horrifying. She's in love with her dead best friend's boyfriend. See, that's the part that I'm like, ugh. Racked with guilt, Ella turns to Haley's journal, but what she finds leaves her terrified. The Sawyer in these pages is nothing like the kind and thoughtful boy she knows. Torn, Ella finds herself having to make a choice, yet making the wrong one could have fatal consequences. A dark romantic thriller that'll leave you breathless, it says. So I do think this is a good option. These are both TBR reads, physical TBRs, which I do think either of them, it's gonna be good for me to get them off my TBR. I also think they're books that I could read really quickly in like a sitting. Another thriller that I've been like eyeing off for a while now is Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. This one's just been kind of haunting me because it's one of hers that I haven't read, and I've heard like very mixed things about it though. I think we're set on a Scottish island. The only other one that I haven't read, but I'm really not sure how I feel about it, is Dead Med by Frey McFadden. This is the only Frey McFadden book I haven't read, and it is set in a medical school, but I think it's got a lot to do with I don't think I can even say the word. A particular theme that I just think, I don't know, it can be a little bit sensitive to read about it. I think those are my top books that I have been avoiding. I think I should go for one on my physical TBR. I'm actually like, I want to put this one, but I'm actually kind of intrigued with this one now. I know that it's not what I usually like, but I feel like recently I've been reading books that I usually would hate, like the tropes that I usually wouldn't enjoy, and I've been liking them a lot more. So I'm thinking maybe whilst I'm in that realm of like still outside my comfort zone and actually enjoying them, maybe I should go for that one. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go for Everything We Never Said. I have seen nothing on this. Completely blind. So let's do that one. Okay, prompt number 2 is, oh, it's so little. What does it say? A new addition to my TBR. Okay, so many options for this. I haven't been book shopping that much, okay? I have gotten a bit of book mail, so I'm gonna get the last books I bought and then my book mail books. I think that'll be how we'll do it. Okay, we actually have quite the stack to get through. The last book I bought was Morningstar. I think the only one I bought that I haven't read, I think, is Morningstar. Everything else I've been reading. I feel like I could get this for any prompt. Like, I'm gonna try and fit it to a prompt because I really want to get to this one. Obviously, it's the 3rd book in the Red Rising series. I've heard only incredible things about this one and I really want to read it in July. I probably will anyway. I read Golden Sun last month. Was blown away by it. Did not expect to like it as much as I did. So this one's really high up there. But I think that's the only one that I've bought that I haven't read. So I've got all of these ones that I've been sent, which we'll do a bit of a rapid fire. This one is The Girl with 1,000 Faces, which sounds super interesting. Also really short, literally under 300 pages. We are set in Hong Kong in 1975 for this one, and it is a gothic fantasy, like a horror fantasy. And we are following Mercy Chan, and she is an exorcist. And I think we're dealing with like ghosts that lurk in the waterways of a city that she's in. Our main protagonist as well, I think, is dealing with like PTSD. Her mind has like blocked out certain memories, so she can't remember a big chunk of her past, but then these ghosts are like haunting her and trying to bring her back into it. It sounds really good. I think it sounds a bit like trippy, like we're dealing with a bit of a mental game. So that could be quite interesting to read. So this could be quite interesting to read. I've heard really good things about this one. Very intrigued to put that one on. Stay for a Spell is a cozy fantasy with the cutest cover in the entire world. We're basically following a princess that has been cursed to remain in a rundown bookshop until she unlocks her heart's desire, because I don't think she knows what she wants to do. She doesn't have a lot of direction for her life. But then an irritatingly handsome pirate, I did not believe that when I read this for the first time. A pirate in a bookstore starts stealing her stock, and she starts to believe that she's stumbled into her own happily ever after. But there's just one problem. As her royal duties go unfulfilled, her frantic parents start sending princes to woo her, each one of them certain their kiss will break the curse. I think it could be cute. It just sounds a little bit quirky. A little bit quirky and cozy, I guess. This one I only just got sent these next 2 like the other day, and they seem so, actually I have no idea, but their covers, they like, that is the prettiest cover I've ever seen in my life. So this is The Heart of Naga by Lee Young-do. And it is a translated work actually. And it says, the world is divided by the line of limit. To the north are the Tokibi, I'm so sorry about my pronunciation, fire people who are able to manipulate flames as both weapons and illusions. And the Reikon, giant birdmen with immense strength and warrior acumen. And the humans, as divided as the other races are unified. So the land is basically divided into a bunch of different communities who all have different powers. As the Naga is being sent north, and a trio is being dispatched to make sure this agent from the south makes it out alive. But the illusion of a simple journey is quickly dispelled by the fact that Tokibi is merely a scholar and not an adventurer. The Reikon is deathly afraid of water, and the human hunts and eats Naga. It sounds really complicated and it sounds amazing, and I probably did not explain that very well at all, because that's a very interesting blurb. Sometimes the blurbs are a little bit confusing. I don't think I'm gonna do that one this month just because it sounds so intense, but it does sound good. You Know What You Did by Kite Nijin. It's a thriller, I think. It says, Annie Shaw grew up poor but seems to have it all now. A dream career, a stunning home, and a devoted husband and daughter. When Annie's mother, a Vietnam War refugee, dies suddenly one night, Annie's carefully curated life begins to unravel. Her obsessive compulsive disorder, which she thought had vanished years ago, comes roaring back. But this time, disturbing fixations swirling around Annie's brain might actually becoming true. A prominent art patron disappears, and the investigation zeroes in on Annie. Spiraling with self-doubt, she distances herself from her family and friends, only to wake up in a hotel room, naked next to a lifeless body. The police have more questions, but with her mind increasingly fractured, Annie doesn't have any answers. That sounds sounds crazy good. That sounds really, really interesting. Oh my gosh, okay, we've got that option. These are all crazy good. And then the last one is Honey, which is also really intriguing to me. I read this out of my vlog recently, but this is basically I think it's a thriller. It says like nothing on the back. I am just super intrigued by the cover. We're basically following Yusra. She's in Cambridge and a professor has been manipulating her friend and stealing her research. And so she flicks a bee into his drink, thinking he'll just get a sting from it, but he ends up dying. And it goes from there. That one, I think I'm most drawn between these two. These two seem really, really good to me. We do have a thriller on already. I think I'm gonna go with The Girl with a Thousand Faces. This one just is calling to me. I am really interested in like the gothic horror kind of vibe this is taking to fantasy, and it's perfect for like the winter as well. So I wanna read it when it's still cold, you know? That is our second book. We have so many options. I wanted to put Morning Star, but I think I'll be able to put it on another prompt. And I also wanted to be true to the prompt. Like I didn't get that recently. All right, the next prompt is a genre bending book. Okay, I feel like a lot of the ones I just read out are, I think specifically Honey. This one seems really curious to me. I'm gonna have a quick look on my bookshelf. Yeah, I think this one is the most genre bending I have because I think it's a bit of a, from what I've heard, like the people that have recommended it to me, it is a bit of a like psychological thriller, but it's also just a lit fic. It's a very addictive read. It's just a bit of a genre bending kind of book. So if you don't know what genre bending means, it kind of is what it sounds. It just like is a book that doesn't fit into one particular genre. Like Yesteryear is a great example of that. It's like lit fic, it's like historical fiction, it's psychological thriller, it's a little bit of everything. And I think that's what this book is giving me, a little bit of everything. It says deliciously dark as well, so I don't know, maybe we have some darker themes in here. We just really don't know much. Dark, thrilling, and undeniably hot, this novel will leave you gasping for air. I don't know, I'm curious. But I think that fits the prompt. Okay, we have 2 more prompts left. The next one is, guys, it's a free pick. I always get so excited. I never get these ones. Immediately, I want to go Morning Star by Pierce Brown. I like immediately am thinking of this one. The only other ones that I've been really interested in recently is Best Offer Wins. I don't have this one physically, but Jamie and Lottie specifically have been wanting me to read this one for such a long time. It is basically about I think like a suburban housewife who is just trying to buy a house, and she finds a house that has not gone on the market yet, I think. And so she tries to start doing everything she can to get this house. And so she starts like spying on it and just taking it to the extreme levels just to buy a house. I find that so funny because at the same time, you're kind of like, yeah, relatable. Like it is really hard to buy a house. But then also I think she just takes it to these extreme levels and you kind of are just left like staring at the wall going like, what just happened? What did I just read? So that seems like a really, really good option. But I think I'm gonna have to go with Morning Star. You know, I think I will. I might try and get Best Offer Wins on another prompt. Oh, we've only got one more prompt. I can't think of anything else that is jumping out to me. And as I said, after finishing the second Red Rising, I just have so many questions for this. I feel like it just completely changed my whole perception on the series. And I'm so excited to dive into this. I also want like one at least big book. Like we've got 3 little books. I think I can deal with 1 big book. Also so happy that this series has more than 3 books because the second book kind of felt like the setup for the series. Like the first book was like a prequel. The second book was like the first book, like the setup of everything. And then hopefully we get into like the deep stuff in here. And I have no idea what the second phase of this series is. Like I have no idea what comes in the rest of the series, but I'm excited to find out and I am excited to jump into this one. Hopefully it might make me like Darrow a little bit more. I like pretty much everyone else apart from Darrow. He really annoys me. The last prompt of the month is a new release I have not read yet, but have been meaning to. There are so many for this one. I definitely could choose The Burning Side by Sarah DeMoth. This is one that I have a lot of like close emotional ties to, so I've been a little bit scared to read it and like actually face my feelings. I've realized that that's a problem that I have. I'm not very good at like confronting my feelings with books, and I think that's why I stay away from emotional reads. Recent discovery. So that one's a really interesting one to me. Sarah DeMoth wrote The Bright Years and I read that and was absolutely in love with it. I just thought it was such a beautiful book. It was so emotional. It made you feel so many things. Like you were so angry, you were so vulnerable during it. So The Burning Side is one that I really want to get to, and I think it just released in Australia, but it's been out for a while now. all over the world. I don't know why we had a later release for it, but we did. Another one is The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. This is her newest release, obviously, and I've just heard really mixed things about it. I haven't seen that many people be obsessed with it, but I'm kind of thinking like, surely it's worth the read. All I know about The Night We Met is that it is a little bit of a love triangle situation, and I think our main protagonist has a boyfriend, but then like she's also really close to his best friend. Let me read out the blurb. In everyone's life, there's a split-second decision that can change everything. For Larissa, it comes when choosing which guy to ride home with after a concert. That night, she had no idea she'd met the perfect man. She and Chris are great together, co-parenting a slightly unhinged rescue Yorkie, sharing their favorite books and judging bread. The first time, amid all her side hustles to scrape by, things finally feel easy. But Chris isn't the one who drove Larissa home all those months ago. Chris is her boyfriend's best friend. There we go. All Chris wants is for Larissa to be happy. Standing by on the sidelines is slowly killing him, but making a move will destroy someone else. He's just not that. That makes me a little bit icky. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure about it. The other one, oh, there's so many as well. I also have Into the Blue. I've just been seeing everyone rant about recently, and I am so intrigued by this one. In the summer of 2000, AJ Graves dreams of writing for SNL. Instead, she is stuck working in a video rental store with slim odds of escaping her Massachusetts small town and large family. In walks Noah Drew, the enigmatic and intense coin of the Drew acting dynasty, and her life changes forever. Despite wildly different upbringings, the two forge a deep cosmic bond, as first as friends, then as acting partners, until one day Noah disappears without a word. 7 years later in New York City, AJ is shocked to find her cast partner in the same intergalactic TV production as Noah. Sorry, to find herself cast in the same intergalactic TV production as Noah. By then, a well-known Hollywood heartthrob. Ooh. As their on-screen character grows closer every day, the lines between reality and acting begin to blur. I want to read this one so bad. I've been so intrigued by it. I think the only other one that I'm like super wanting to read is No Matter What by Cara Bastone. I know that this is about a couple that are like kind of on the brink of divorce and they can't communicate with each other. I just read Cara Bastone this year for the first time and I really liked her writing. So that's one I also really want to read. Okay, my top two I feel like are The Burning Side and Into the Blue. I could do either. I don't have either of them physically, so I'm like, they're both very easy options. Guys, I think I'm gonna have to go with Into the Blue just because I have been seeing so many people read this and rave about it and absolutely love it. And I've seen people cry over it as well. I'm hoping I can grab this one physically. If not, I'll just read it on Kindle. But I just feel like, oh, I'm so intrigued by that one and I really want to know what it's about. I want to know what everyone's obsessed with. And you guys know me. I love an emotional like journey of a love story. I love that. Taylor Jenkins Reid, Emily Henry, everything like that I'm obsessed with. So I feel like I'll really enjoy this one. I hope I will. I think that'll bring us to the end of our TBR. So let's run through it. Honestly, had more physical books than I was expecting on this TBR. I was kind of waiting for like a lot of Kindle reads. Okay, first of all, we have Everything We Never Said by Sloane Harlow. This one will be interesting. I'm glad to just like tick it off my TBR because it's been a little while. A Girl with a Thousand Faces. I am so intrigued by this one. It's a really cool cover as well, and that intrigues me a lot. Also, like a small standalone fantasy is rare to find. I feel like that's that's not something you come by every single day. Honey by Amani Thompson. I'm just so intrigued to jump into this one because I really don't know anything about it. I love jumping into books that I'm so like blind about and have no idea how this could turn out. Always really intriguing to me. Of course, we have Morning Star by Pierce Brown. Guys, I'm terrified, but so excited to jump into this one. And then Into the Blue, which I think will be a bit of an emotional roller coaster, but I'm really excited about. Those are the books on our July TBR. I think it's gonna be a really interesting reading month. Very different for me, not a lot of fantasy, but a lot of different genres I don't usually read, so that's always exciting. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I had such a fun time filming it and picking it back to our roots, back to picking our TBR from prompts. But yeah, thank you for watching to the end if you have. If you are still here, let me know one of your reads that you're excited to get to this month. What are your anticipated releases for the month, or just reads on your radar for the month? But yeah, if you're still watching, thank you so much. It truly means the world to me. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video.